Corvallis is a vibrant community, living up to its name as the heart of the valley, with businesses that have stood the test of time, active community organizations, artists and writers enriching the culture, plus Oregon State University and its award-winning programs. Corvallis is a good place in which to live and work.
Well, of course, I've lived in Corvallis, so I have a love of what Corvallis can do, and Corvallis is, to me, a unique city in many, many ways. It's a small town with a big heart, a big intellect.
Downtown Corvallis is probably very, very unique in the state of Oregon, and actually in many states. It's still a fairly nuclear downtown. There are lots of shopping opportunities. And if people want to stay in Corvallis and spend their money in Corvallis, the opportunities exist. So this is one more step in keeping people downtown and bringing people downtown.
There are museums up and down the valley, across the state, in every city, the size smaller and larger than Corvallis. Corvallis does not have a museum, and yet it has the third largest collection of artifacts in this state, and we have no place to exhibit it.
It's hard to think that a town this size that is so involved in education and culture doesn't have a museum in Corvallis already.
With the acquisition of the Horner collection, the Society needed to store it safely.
The decision was made to build a collection storage building here on the Philomath campus and build an exhibition space, a museum space that was primarily for exhibition in downtown Corvallis.
When they approached us about providing support to buy the downtown property, we immediately thought this is going to be a good investment.
The decision to tear down the Copeland building, build a collections facility in Philomath, and use the site at 2nd and Adams for a museum building happened concurrently. The collections building construction began in March of 2007, and it was completed in December of 2007. So it was a very, very, it was a project that the Society was able to complete very quickly. The Horner collection had been in the process of being packaged and being prepared to move, so we were ready. We just needed to bite the bullet and, get the people down there and get the collection moved, and that's what happened in early 2008. So the collection was finally completely moved out by April 1 of 2008.
It is a real state-of-the-art facility. It's has an area to make exhibits in. It has an area for volunteers to work with the collection. And every day they open boxes from the Horner collection and discover new treasures that we didn't even know we had.
Once it had built the Johnson Collection Center, the Society could then turn its attention to a Corvallis Museum.
The other way that we're unique is we have the Horner collection. And the Horner collection is admittedly a very eclectic collection, but at the same time, it's the collection itself is a really important part of Benton County history. Oregon State University is also a very important part of Benton County history, and so when you have all the professors who have brought things back from their travels abroad at a time when most people weren't able to travel abroad, and they brought back things from around the world, things that were made at a time before industrialization for many nations. And so it's just a wonderful collection of materials from the early 20th century in other parts of the world.
The prospect of having something downtown that will welcome people from out of town, as well as provide a destination for school children, adults, newcomers to town, to learn more about our wonderful county and its history, is very important.
This is an eminently doable project in this community. We have the support, we have the interest, we have the expectation from the community that we will do this, and so we're committed.
When we initially restarted the design process, we put out an RFP, a request for proposal, and we put it out to multiple architects here in Oregon, and with the idea of finding someone that really had a heavy level of experience in museums. We reviewed the responses and selected 3, and we had those 3 come in, and we interviewed them in person. We liked Allied Works out of Portland enough that we asked them to come back and do a second interview, and after that we hired them.
A museum in Corvallis is going to be important for many people.
I also am interested, particularly now that Allied Works architecture is involved, in having a very nice building downtown. We don't have too much in the line of architecture in Corvallis.
It's just really special to be able to work with a truly creative architect.
Talking with friends about this project, I really believe that it is important that they understand that it's a commitment by the community.
The glass walls, a beautiful exterior, are secondary items which kind of makes your community look better. But the real thing is being able to look at the exhibit, and I think even better, work with it. You can have items that you don't touch, but you can also have stuff that's you can crank, you can push the button, you can do this, you can do that, and it satisfies some kind of an urge, I guess, for people.
The one thing that stands out to a lot of people about the old Horner Museum was the moose. So it's those types of things that people remember, and if you're there as a young child, that's something, there are those kind of unique objects that people tie into, and it brings them a little bit closer to what happened in Benton County a long time ago.
I think one of the things that I'm most excited to see in the new museum is literally going to the post office, going to Rob Nett's to get nuts and bolts or something, and seeing this, once in a century, once in a lifetime architectural structure that makes such a statement, not just an architectural statement, but a statement about who we are as a county, who we are as a community. And then walking into that space, and I've spent a lot of time looking at the floor plans and at some of the renderings from Allied Works, and that sense of the volume of the space. It's light, it's airy, light coming in from a number of sources, and being surrounded by all of those artifacts and all of those images that reflect how we got to where we are.
I see the Corvallis Museum providing a lot of different opportunities to engage with our schools. In addition to reading, writing, and arithmetic, which the students already are learning and is mandated by the state, here's an opportunity for the museum to really enhance what's going on with a lot of hands-on educational opportunities that really engage the students, that get them involved in their community from the ground up, to incorporate that into the plans for the museum, to think about new ways of learning, new ways that children and older people especially are going to engage with the museum and the exhibits.
Museum exhibitions are based on your collection. That's what makes your museum unique, and that's what makes your exhibition program unique.
One of the things that impressed me was the gun collection, and I'm not a gun owner, and I'm not that fascinated by guns, but I was surprised at the number of old guns that they have that could be displayed. There are just so many things in that collection that show how people lived and how they survived in a rugged frontier environment at one point.
I love to see those cars, and I love the stagecoach. Those large artifacts intrigue me because you wonder who traveled in them and how they felt when they were traveling in them. That horse and buggy. I mean, my gosh, that was work. to go anywhere.
With the new building, we'll be able to bring in, we have sculptures, we have automobiles, we have carriages, we have some very large, pretty exciting objects that when people see them even in storage, they're impressed, you know, they stop. But very few people get to see the back room.
I often describe it as the perfect storm. We now have the perfect project in the perfect place with the perfect budget.
Now, a successful campaign is underway.
Anonymous gifts, of course, are always appreciated by almost anyone. But I do think that when one makes a gift and says, yes, you may use my name, that in itself is another gift in a way. It's saying, yes, I stand up, I support this, and I hope that anyone who knows me and thinks it's important to me might consider doing the same.
There's no reason to hide it, in my view. In fact, it's a source of pride to be able to support an organization that is such a community benefit.
Mark and I have made a commitment to this campaign. We have stretched and decided that this is where we want to put a donation at this time. This is an important project in our community. This is a once in a lifetime. This building will be built. It will be a landmark building. It will be a hub. It will be a center in our community, a gathering spot. And the opportunity is now. It's not going to happen again. This is the time to build a museum in downtown Corvallis.
The Benton County Historical Society and Museums becomes a leading cultural center in the state of Oregon. And that's my vision for the future of this organization, is that we have two campuses that are thriving, one as the Research and Collection Center and one as the exhibition/civic community center, and that we're working with a number of other cultural organizations in Benton County to provide the kind of cultural services that the community demands.
The collaboration between the university and the Benton County Museum, that's a natural, that's an obvious thing, but I would hope that as the museum is constructed, that it's not just Oregon State University and the Benton County Museum, but it's Hewlett-Packard, it's CH2M Hill, it's the whole community that comes together to collaborate and to share what their expertise is in certain areas so that we can build a museum which is unique, that there's none like it anywhere in the world.
We'll invite other museums to share so that we'll have so many opportunities for them in classrooms coming, children coming, families. I see the place just being filled with opportunities, with events, learning events.
This is a really important community resource, and that Corvallis should benefit greatly from it, and that includes all the businesses in Corvallis, because anything that brings people downtown, they see how nice and pedestrian friendly and attractive our downtown is, and anything that encourages business in Corvallis I think is good for the community at large. And I think it also will make Corvallis a destination, because it will be a really first-class museum.
When it comes right down to it, there are very few opportunities to give to something that really lasts, both in the physical sense of really lasting. This is going to be that landmark building that I keep calling it. But it's going to be an institution that has deep roots already, but is going to continue to grow on into the future.
It's going to be a place for people to go. It's going to be another draw for downtown Corvallis. It's going to be another reason that Corvallis will survive as a nuclear city.
So all we need now is a whole bunch of money.